Warning, 18 plus. This video is for mature audiences only. And of course, I had to post this on Valentine's Day. Yes, we are getting into succubus demons, also known as sex demons. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And look at my top 333, only half evil. It's pretty accurate. Before we get into this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. So what exactly is a succubus demon? Well, a succubus is a demon or a supernatural entity that appears as a very attractive female, and they have sexual intercourse with men in their sleep. They will continuously prey on these men, draining the soul out of their bodies, draining their energy. They will start noticing their health going downhill or even death. But are these demons real? Of course, there's not much evidence out there, but the ones who have reported encounters with these entities have described them in such great detail. Now, it's not just men who experience this. Women experience it too. I've noticed it happens during stressful events that the individual is experiencing as they are encountering the succubus demon. I mean, as humans, we're always going to have stressful times in our lives, but I've noticed that is a huge factor there. But usually the person encountering the succubus will just have this feeling, and they feel this pressure on their chest, like it's horrific what they're feeling. They feel someone pressing them down, or they'll feel someone touching them, like seducing them, just, touching their thigh, touching their private parts, and feeling them up really. Sometimes it ends at that, and then you wake up, you snap out of it, and it goes away. But as it keeps happening night after night, it gets more intimate, more intense. Some people don't mind it. There's people who are absolutely horrified by it. I've never experienced this. I think I would be screaming if I felt that. There's also this growl that they will hear, and usually it's coming from behind them, and they just feel like someone is behind, but pressing down on them and just really trying to hurt them because they're trying to suck the soul out of you, suck the energy out of you. They want you to feel weaker and weaker, and eventually this is supposedly going to lead to death because they're literally sucking the life out of you. The more that they visit you night after night after night, it gets worse and worse. Maybe the stress in your life gets worse and worse. You're more tired. You're just not motivated. But that goes with a lot of demonic entities. That is what they're attracted to. When you're going through a stressful time in your life, when you're depressed, when you're maybe, into drinking and drugs and all of that, that's usually when people will experience a demonic presence. Not all the time, but when you hear about these cases, there's something dark going on in the individual's life. You know what I mean? And the men who watch porn before they fall asleep, that can trigger it too. Does anyone remember that video from Tana when she was experiencing a succubus demon? Was it even real? I don't even know, but her video, that was years ago, it freaked me out when I was watching it. And this was like happening to her night after night, but it happens to women too. It's not just men, but men are usually the prey for the succubus. And for the women, it's usually the incubus demon, which they say is the male counterpart to the succubus demon. Sometimes it's the incubus and the succubus together, and you can experience them at the same time. These demons are just fun. But anyways, I thought that I would share with you guys a few stories of actual encounters with these succubus demons. So enjoy. In December of 2012, in Bakersfield, California, a young man named Ethan had a demonic encounter. After returning from school, Ethan was tired and worn out, but still had plenty of homework to do. He worked late into the night before fully collapsing into his bed. He fell asleep instantly, but did not sleep soundly. He dreamt that an evil being was in his home, and it was trying to get into his room. It finally broke in, and as soon as it did, Ethan jolted awake with a ringing sound in his ears. Ethan felt the demon. It was on the wall behind his head, holding his limbs down. It had something in his ears, and his left ear began to vibrate violently. The strange sensation spread to his right ear. Ethan fought as best as he could, but he could not break free. He cursed at the being and tried to free his arms or legs. The demon only laughed at him, an eerie and horrific sound that was neither deep nor high-pitched. The demon cried out, "Sing!" and released Ethan. Ethan sat up rapidly, leaping out of his bed to turn on the lights. But when light flooded his bedroom, there was nothing out of the ordinary. However, Ethan's dogs were acting abnormal, barking, leaping at the door, and trying desperately to get to their owner. He went to the bathroom and was startled to see his reflection in the mirror. His eyes were bloodshot, with the whites of his eyes completely red. Ethan realized he had been visited by a succubus demon. My very first demon attack occurred when I was a 22-year-old college student. During my final 2 years in college, I was renting a tiny room in this double-story house. This house was walking distance to college, and it was comfortable. There was absolutely no disturbances. This incident occurred during my final semester in college. I was a third-year student and the final semester had just ended. We were given a short break to prepare for final exams. It was a very stressful period, too much to do, too little time. I usually sleep with 3 pillows, one for my head, one to hug, and another between my legs. So as I was asleep, I had a dream that I was walking with a few friends, and one of them was having her arm around my shoulder. As time went by, I felt her arm growing heavier, and I was trying to tell her that she was hurting me. And at the same time, I began to feel invaded down below. I actually felt something entering me down there. That was when I snapped out of my sleep. I realized it was not a dream. There was no friend's arm, but instead I was being pressed down on my shoulders and upper back. The pressure got too heavy that left me struggling to break free. At this point, my mind was already wide awake, and I was trying to push off the presence. I grew very afraid of the pressure, the violation, the inability to break free, that I grabbed my pendant around my neck and uttered a prayer. Instantly, the pressure eased, and I heard a deep throaty growl behind my neck. The hairs at the back of my neck stood up, and I leapt up and sat on my bed for a while. Nothing was there. One night, about 2 years ago, while I was just starting to fall asleep, but was still awake, I felt a light pressure on top of me. I was lying on my stomach, so the pressure was on my back. It was light at first, but after a few seconds, it rapidly started to increase and expand. It felt like there was a grown elephant standing on top of me. I instantly thought I was having a nightmare and tried to wake up. That's when I realized that I was paralyzed, and what was happening was no dream. I never felt an evil presence, just pure fear and panic. I was trying to move and shout, but I couldn't. Still, I was not giving up. The pressure went away after a few minutes, but it went away because it felt like letting me go, not because I shook it off. I had problems with going to sleep after that, mainly because I was so afraid that it would happen again, and it did. Only this time the pressure started from my feet and worked its way up all the way to my head, and it was way worse than the first time. Alright, you guys, so let me know your thoughts about succubus demons or incubus demons. Have you ever experienced them? Let me know in the comments if you want me to make more incubus, succubus, demon videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video. As always, you rock my world, and the song lyrics Michael Jackson. #team3044. #Parental friends. Hey! And I will see you guys in my next video. Happy Valentine's Day!